What's going on, guys? It's Adonis and you're watching Absolutely Tech. So Angry Birds has been a hit since December of 2009, and we finally have a sequel to the original game. And a lot of you are saying they've been having a ton of different Angry Birds games. You are correct, but this is actually the successor or the sequel to the first game. So we're going to take a dive into Angry Birds 2, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on the game. Now, when Angry Birds first launched, it was a very basic game. Extremely addictive, but still very basic as far as animation and the graphics inside the game. Angry Birds 2 takes this to a completely different level. Have it being 5-6 years after the original game. Levels look fantastic. The world itself is actually a world, which is pretty awesome. You can scroll back through the levels that you've already beat, which is pretty interesting, but it reminds you much of a board game as well as a video game. Now, in the levels, there's multi-stage. So what that means is after you defeat a fort, you'll go to the next fort to defeat that. And this is in one level. So it's very challenging. It allows more strategy to, depending on what birds you have and what abilities they have. Also, some of the levels have these portals that when you send birds through them or knock down some of the buildings, they'll actually transition through that portal to the other side of the portal. And then once you've knocked down a certain amount, you'll gain more birds, which is pretty awesome. So the bosses in this game are very simple. However, it still adds to the strategy of the game, because if you use certain birds early in that stage, you may not have them when you actually need them for the boss. So it adds a level of complexity and a level of strategy that the first Angry Birds game just didn't have. Now, the tournament section is a way to level up your birds. And what they do is they give you a certain amount of birds to start with, and your goal is to knock as many forts down as possible with the birds. Now, the same rules apply. If you knock a certain amount of things down, you gain points and you'll get more birds. So you really have to manage your strategy as you go through this, but the higher the score you have, the higher the rank you have, and the higher the rank you have, once the tournament is ended, you'll gain feathers for certain birds that allow them to become stronger. So what do I think about Angry Birds 2? Well, personally, I enjoy the game. I played the first game back in 2009 when it came out, enjoyed that game. I haven't really played the, rehashes of the game, how they, brought the Transformers in, or they did the whole Star Wars thing, or the Rio versions. I didn't really play any of them. I've seen them, but they never really caught my eye for whatever reason. But this being the sequel to the original game, I actually enjoy it, especially with the new animation style. I like that a lot. The different power-ups that you get throughout the game and the different bird powers that you get, which is pretty cool. But what do you guys think? Do you think this is another rehash? Do you think it's a cash grab? Let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any suggestions for new videos or new apps you'd like me to, review, let me know down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Till next time, guys. See you later.